And I think that there are so many things that we do not have control over. But something you do have control over is how you choose to frame these things, how you choose to view the world. Do you want to be someone who's caught up in bitterness and negativity and resentment and anger, blaming other people for all your problems? Or you can take an alternative path and you can choose to be more optimistic. And you can choose to acknowledge the past and learn from the past. I think that's something that's extremely important, right? It's not good to try to erase the past or act like these things never happened, but it's not good to dwell in it. You can take those lessons and you can be very appreciative of what you have now, and you can use that to progress for yourself, for your family, for your community, and ultimately for the country as a whole. And I think that is a much more positive view. I often look at things and I wonder, how is this thing helpful, right? If there's someone out there who is trying to make you feel some type of hatred or contempt or anger towards your fellow citizen based on their skin color, based on their political party, based on their religion, based on whatever it may be, then I don't think that the person they want you to view your enemy as your enemy is the enemy. I think the person who's trying to force that belief system on you does not have your best interest in mind. I'm extraordinarily distrustful of anybody who wants me to hate white people, anybody who wants me to hate women, anyone who wants me to hate this person or hate that person. How can you be coming from a place of love? And that is this message. When I'm just standing here, I'm just in this room, I'm talking to people. I'm talking to people. Yes, I can absolutely see what each individual in here looks like. But as I'm standing here talking to people, I'm like, man, I'm just talking to a good-looking crowd here. I'm not just talking to white people, I'm not just talking to black people, I'm talking to everybody. And everybody in this room has this seed of potential for greatness. And I think that another narrative that's so popular these days is this victimhood mentality. This idea that whoever you are, the world, the system, your neighbors, your fellow citizens, everybody is out to get you. It's not true. It's not true. No one is out to get you. And in this country, more than any other that I've traveled to, and I've traveled to a lot of them, there is no other nation in this world at this time that has the level of opportunity that the United States does. The amount of... Honestly, I say this coming from the UK. And quick geography lesson here. The United Kingdom is 4 countries. It's not just one country, it's 4 countries combined. England, Scotland, Northern Ireland, and Wales. Those 4 countries combined are smaller than the state of Texas. Just Texas is bigger than the entire UK. And you have 50 states, over 330 million people, the most diverse population in every sense of the word in the entire world. And there is just so much opportunity here. And I think that if people can appreciate that and have some gratitude for what is available here, then I think that this is really, I mean, the country has already risen in an incredible way. But I think if that understanding can be instilled in people, old, young, whoever you are, then I think this sort of anger and misdirected anger and this constant outrage and the sort of lack of appreciation for what people actually have available to them would very quickly dissipate. It's not a perfect country. We know that there's no perfect country. There are ongoing battles all the time. There are causes that we need to fight for, but I think people need to be careful about the battles they choose to fight, and people need to fight them intelligently, right? Focus on the real problems, not the ones that are imaginary, right? And there's a lot of imaginary problems that people are fighting against right now. Now, one of the reasons why I think that there is this still ongoing It's such a strange thing because when I'm in the real world, when I'm in the United States and I'm traveling around and I'm talking to people and I'm doing events like this and whatever, I mean, I don't see racism. I'm not seeing this white supremacy that people are trying to tell me about. I'm not seeing it. Everyone seems to be getting on pretty well. People seem to be friendly towards one another. People seem to be judging people primarily off of their character and their behavior, not simply the color of their skin. So, but I think that there are individuals out there, there are organizations out there, there are politicians out there, there are people in the media who are running what I call it the racism industrial complex, right? These are the people who these are people who claim to hate racism, but the truth is they're the ones keeping it alive. They're the ones who need it. They're the ones who profit off of the division. They profit off of keeping people angry at each other. And you don't need to play this game. It's only profitable, I believe, as long as people continue to play that game. And I believe that no matter, again, especially in this country, no matter your skin color, no matter who you are, no matter your background, whether you've come from a poor family or a richer family, whatever it is, we don't choose the cards that we're dealt. Nobody chooses. We don't choose our families. We don't choose our parents. We don't choose what country we're born in, what year we're born in. There's a lot of things that we don't control in this world. You know, you are dealt your cards, but how you choose to play those cards, that is up to you. And I don't think that's something that's scary. I think that's something that is incredibly, incredibly empowering. We all know stories. I'm sure there's many people in this room who were not dealt the easiest hand, right? Everyone is dealt a different hand, and you don't have control over that. But one of the wonderful things is as you grow up, as you go through your education, as you move into the workforce or you start your business, whatever it is, you are the one ultimately who is in control of all those decisions, especially over the course of decades, right? Once you're going into your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, as time goes on, it just becomes a series of choices. And if you make good choices and you make smart decisions and you surround yourself with good people as much as possible, this world will reward you. It will reward you. I think it would have been a lot harder to say that and totally mean it, let's say, I don't know, 70 years ago, 100 years ago, 200 years ago. But we are now in this absolutely unique time in human history where so many of those battles have been fought and they have been won and the barriers have been dropped and people are now more decent and more fair and recognize that we are simply human beings. The law is not getting in your way. The government, they'll sometimes get in your way, but they're not getting in your way too much, right? And so I just think that those excuses that people want to rely on and this constant victimhood, it's got to go. It's got to go. And so I simply want to encourage everyone in this room today. I want to encourage you all to recognize, number one, how much potential for greatness you all have. Every single person in here has a different story, a different personality, a different set of experiences, a different skill set that you can offer to the world. We all have different gifts and talents, and if you harness that and you live your life in service to other human beings, then you don't even have time for all the negativity. I also want you all to just consider, once again, how special and incredible this nation is. If you have that perspective and you have that gratitude, again, it's hard to get stuck in the negativity and the nonsense for a long time, right? Other people can do that if they really want to, but trust me, you'll have a major advantage in this life if you don't allow yourself to get stuck there and you choose to see the world with a more optimistic lens and choose to see your life with a more optimistic lens and choose to see your neighbors, your friends, your fellow citizens, and your country with a more positive and optimistic lens. You're capable of greatness, so go out there and get it. I'm doing my best to go out there and get it, and I encourage all of you to do the same thing. God bless you all. God bless the USA. I'm Zuby. I appreciate you. Thank you.